The Deathguard Codex has an amazing number of combinations and concoctions you can come up with. We are super excited about them. So today, we want to take a moment to talk about 10 great combinations you can come up with and use in your games with Deathguard. So let's take a look. All right, so this is an amazingly complex and interwoven codex. We love it, but it takes a lot of planning. So we want to talk about some of these.
Tons of unique abilities, things that we've never seen before in the game.
Yeah.
And really, you can get very, very creative. There's more than 10. But we've just come up with 10 that we love, things that we've actually already been using or that we're excited to be trying out in our new games. So let's take you through them. They're in no particular order. They're just things that we think are great. So the first one we're going to talk about is Living Plague.
That's right.
Plus the Fulgur's Helm.
Yeah, so the Living Plague is a warlord trait. This is warlord trait number 3, I believe.
That's right.
That turns off enemy auras within 3 inches. Already amazing. Turn off Rites of War, turn off rerolls.
Disrupts the entire game of
It's massive. This is probably one of the single most threatening changes to the game that we've seen since the launch
One
of
of the most powerful
right?
abilities anywhere in the game, even at 3 inches. But what if it was 6 inches?
We can make that better. Let's take the classic Deathguard relic, Helm of Fulgur's. This extends your auras 3 inches. This is important because you really want to put this on a support character a lot of the time. We recommend the Plague Surgeon.
That's right.
Because he, of course, has the Feel No Pain within 3 inches. This is also an aura.
So this one relic buffs both these auras.
That's
really key.
Yeah, so he can be just behind your support line of Plague Marines or whatever.
Which is where he's going to be anyways.
This out. Exactly. And it gives you a bit of flexibility because, again, like we mentioned, Space Marines exist, Rites of War exists, and so ideally you want to be up close to a point in such a way that no matter where your opponent touches that point, they have to get within 6 of your dude that then turns off their obsec. So amazing, oppressive combination there. Really, really fun for Deathguard.
It's extremely strong. I can't stress enough how strong this is. So many armies are just invalidated.
That's right.
Now, it's not the whole board they're invalidated, but certainly in this one spot on the board, their whole tactic is invalidated, right?
It's that key center point, right? Exactly.
So the next one is one of the most complicated stratagems to use.
Yes.
Probably got more words than almost any stratagem I can find. It's called Flash Outbreak.
That's right.
And you can pair it with the Plague Company Contagions.
Yeah, absolutely. So what the Flash Outbreak stratagem does, it costs 2 command points, and essentially you can take one of your Plague Company Contagions and place it additionally on another unit in your army that doesn't already have it.
So basically you have a character, he has a Warlord trait, which is a specific contagion. Now for one turn, you get to put that on another unit, and this can be basically any other unit, so you get to move that key contagion somewhere else on the board. Now, for example, these contagions do amazing things, right?
Yep.
They turn off rerolls.
Yes.
They slow down movement. They're unbelievably strong.
Extra AP.
Oh, yeah.
Super powerful. And as an added bonus, something that kind of gets cast to the side as part of this stratagem is the fact that also you count your contagions as being 1 turn later in the game.
That's right.
So you're putting it out there, you're extending it. You're saying, actually, no, I don't want you to reroll against my Death Shroud, or I want to slow you down using this Plague Drone, or another amazing unit that we love, which is the Fortification. Set it out there and just immediately being able to throw out these debuffs at will. Absolutely devastating.
Well, that miasmic magnifier, that's that essentially terrain piece. You could put it in the middle of the board. It's got a 9-inch aura from either side. It's huge, right? And
it's great.
It's got a huge aura of turn off rerolls or slow movement. It's so strong. I think you're going to see that combination a lot. It's very, very powerful.
Absolutely. So speaking of Plague Company warlord traits, one that we also love is Ferric Blight. This is from the Inexorable, and this essentially gives you, the Deathguard player, an extra AP against enemy units within contagion range of warlord.
So good.
What? And so this is a weird case where it's not just plague weapons, it's not just melee, it's everything. So already in a very powerful ability within contagion range. And of course, one of the new spells, Gift of Plagues, extends the contagion range for a unit by 6 inches. So now you
That's
have
up to a maximum of 12, but
12,
it's still a lot.
It's a big, big range. So again, you could use this with Flash Outbreak. You could just have this on a Demon Prince that runs up the board. That's what we've been doing. And all of a sudden, this takes all your weapons to the next level, right? Plague Knives become -2. Death Shroud cuts straight through power at -4. It's
Even
just
your bolters are just AP1, which is huge.
Now you're
and again, you could be putting this on one of those miasmic magnifiers, and the whole board is an additional AP. Almost.
That's right.
You know, it's It's very, very strong.
Absolutely. So you can already see these are 3 different Plague Company abilities. You can't really have all of them you cannot have them at the same time.
Right.
But this is exciting because it gives you new builds and new ways to actually look at these combinations when you're building your lists.
The next one is the Foulblight spawn. This is already one of our favorite models for its ability to make you fight last within 3 inches. But you can upgrade him to make him a super Foulblight spawn, and I think you're going to do this every game in almost every army.
Absolutely. So one of the new abilities in the Deathguard Codex is the ability to actually upgrade different toxins, right?
Yeah.
One of the tastiest ones is the cheapest ones. 10 points for Viscous Death. This is going to give your Strength 7 Flamer +1 Strength, so it's Strength 8.
Which is great.
Big deal. And let you reroll the D6 shots on your weapon. This is similar to a strat that existed previously, and it costs, obviously, CP. Now it's just 10 points. Have that for the whole game.
Oh, yeah.
It's really hard to take this guy without spending those extra 10 points to upgrade it. This is, of course, only one of the ways you can create your super Foulblight spawn.
The other thing is the relic, the Revolting Stench Vats. This gives you a 6-inch aura of enemies count as not charging. Now, that is effectively fight first. It's the ability he used to have, which we were already rating as one of the strongest abilities in 9th edition. We assumed it would go away.
Right.
It didn't, and he got more abilities. So he's exceptionally strong. His Flamer is vicious, more vicious than it used to be. And his fight last is even better because everyone counts as not charging. That's, remember, Space Marines lose their extra attack, right? They might lose their super doctrines,
damage,
right?
Doctrine.
All kinds of things, just losing not charging, and you're fighting last. And then they can pick another unit that absolutely fight last.
Right.
It's very, very strong.
Really, really cool.
Yeah.
So that's a little package for the Foulblight spawn, but he's so good. He has so many combinations based around him. We have another one specifically dedicated to him. This is in relationship to his fight last ability.
That's right.
Which, again, is only a 3-inch range, which means he has to be danger close. However, luckily, Death Shroud have changed to actually become much more powerful than they were before.
That's right.
Now, as long as you have a character within 3 inches of any Death Shroud, that character cannot be targeted by ranged attacks.
Even if they're the closest.
Exactly. So what you do is you take your Foulblight spawn, could be Super 1, you know, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
And you put him right on the front rank in front of your Death Shroud.
In front of them. Normally he's behind staying safe.
Yeah.
You put him in front, so if they want to charge, they have to charge him. That way you're always going to be within that 3-inch aura. It's a key way to make that little blob of Terminators, which could be holding an entire side of the board, makes it unassaultable.
Exactly. So really, really powerful combinations. And you could even take this further with the Plague Company that can heroically intervene with units and just be absolutely unassailable. So a really cool, kind of weird interaction that I love because I've never seen this before. To be able to actually just put your character out there and be that
leading from the front. That's the way it's supposed to be. All right, the next one is the Poxwalkers plus the Dead Walk Again stratagem. This one is so crucial because it allows you to roll 7 dice and bring Poxwalkers back. And you get to do this in the command phase. What's so crucial about that is you can kind of fool your opponent in a way where you can have models that have died.
Right.
And then you're off a point, and they're like, okay, you're not going to get that point. Now, at the start of your turn, before you score, you bring back 4 or 5 more.
Right.
Now you go all the way back on that point, and you've now snagged it from them. Or maybe they have 1 model on it, and you have 1 model on it, and they're like, oh, it's mine.
Yeah.
You bring 1 back. Now you have 2 models on the point. It's yours again. So much trickery with this, especially in the command phase.
Yeah, and again, it is command phase. So you could do this, gain extra movement, then move again. It's just a really scary strat, and it's so reliable, right? It's on a 3+, so it's not like, oh, maybe you're hoping and half the time it won't work.
Yeah.
If you could just getting a couple bodies for this is absolutely massive. So there's another support character. You'll notice the theme here, right?
They have so many.
They do such amazing abilities.
Yeah.
The Biologist Putrefier. This is the grenade guy, as most of us call him, right? And the Blightning used to be it essentially was trench or.
Everyone could throw a grenade.
Everyone could throw grenades. Sorry.
Which was a lot. You'd have like a 10-man squad. They all throw grenades.
You do mortal wounds and all that stuff.
Now you can only throw 3 grenades.
Tragic.
But they turn into pistols. And they get max 6 shots. And they auto hit.
Pretty good.
So you can throw them in combat. Max 6 shots. Now, these grenades are only okay, except when you pair them with this guy.
That's right. So what he does is he makes all of those grenades -1 AP and 2 damage each. This is terrifying and really powerful in this case for a number of reasons, and why in many ways it's almost better than the Mortal Wounds before because of the way you want to play the game now.
Agreed.
This means you can be getting up on a point. You could have been the charger or chargee. Regardless, you don't want to fall back. Your Plague Marines, you want to be on the point, things like that. Now, because they're pistols, you shoot and auto hit in combat. You still get to fight. You still get to get that extra movement and stay on the point. Just an absolutely devastating combo that, honestly, that's 1 CP, right?
It's very, very strong. And of course, you can bind this with extra AP. So they become AP2. You can plus to wound with this. If you really needed to, you can wipe a lot with this. You could wipe huge squads with just this strat. So it's still very, very, very good. Really excited about this one. Okay, another trick that I think is really good, and people have been talking about the droning.
Yeah, totally.
It's one of the really cool abilities that halves movement within contagion range. I like pairing this with something really good in combat like a Demon Prince.
Yes.
Because you can have a funny thing that happens where everyone halves their movement, so you charge. Now they want to fall back, because who wants to be stuck with a Demon Prince?
Nobody.
But most people with 5 or 6 inch movement can only move 3 inches back.
Yeah.
That means they have to be within heroic intervention range. So they can never escape from you. Yeah. They can keep falling back, try to put some shots in you, but no matter what, you're going to keep piling back into them and keep fighting. So it's a fun little bit. Not to mention, you're already disrupting the rest of the army's ability to move, and you're putting this on other units. Right. But it's really good for this ability to never let them escape. Yeah, absolutely. This inescapable death is a really, really powerful ability. That just it pairs so well, and you're just constantly getting back in combat. You're getting a free combat phase essentially as well. And you can charge one thing, fight it, tag another thing. And then now you get to fight it guaranteed in your next turn. That's right. Unless they charge you with something else. But now, either way, you're getting to fight, right? Yeah. It's a really cool tactic. And these guys can already be super tough, right? So I love this. That's right. Speaking of tough Demon Princes, let's take a look at this ultra tough, ultra durable, disgustingly, revoltingly resilient Demon Prince. This is a combination of a Warlord trait and a relic. That's true. One of which is very classic, the Separating Plate, right? Yeah. This gives him a 2+ armor save. And it also has the potential to do a mortal wound back. It's worse. It could do unlimited mortal wounds before. Now it's just one. This is not why you take it. But you take it for the 2-up save. You're getting the 2-up save, which is cool. Yeah. It becomes even better when you combine it with Rotten Constitution. Yeah. +1 toughness. Which is good. It's T7. That's cool. More importantly, you're immune to -1 and -2 rend. Which is a lot of the game. That's so much of the game. So you would look at your opponent's army and you would say, okay, up the left flank, they only have AP 1 and 2. Right. Demon Prince up the left flank. Now he's just a 2-up save no matter what. That's really tough to deal with because you can't shoot him most of the time. And then when you finally get him into combat, if you don't have any AP against him, he's invincible. I love this because it lets you be that much more aggressive with your Demon Prince. Agreed. Before, things like Intercessors, if they were able to get in, that would absolutely shred a Demon Prince, right? Yeah. That -2 rend, all that stuff. Even in melee, really, really scary with just sheer volume of fire. And this basically makes you immune to that. Yeah. So incredibly powerful ability that, again, you can be using this to do contagion things and stuff like that. It's all about extending your ranges of your buffs, your debuffs, things like that. That's right. So let's talk about a way to make your bolters actually scary. That's right. You've got a lot of bolters in this army, and in fact, this army is one of the best at shooting bolters because they pretty much can always rapid fire when they move. And a great way to do this is combining Virulent Rounds with Arch Contaminator. That's right. So Virulent Rounds is a strat that existed before. I was curious to see if they kept it because it has some really interesting potential with it. This is the ability to take one of your units and give them their bolters the Plague Weapon ability, which of course natively rerolling 1s. Okay, that's kind of cute. It's not bad. But what you really want to do is combine it with Arch Contaminator, another Deathguard classic, which is full rerolls to wound with Plague Weapons within range of the person with that trait. Yeah. So now suddenly all your bolters, probably Storm Bolters is ideal in this case. Sure, like a unit of Blightlord Terminators. A ton of shots, all rerolling to hit because they're Plague Weapons. You can combine this, of course, again with Ferric Blight for an extra AP. Which is crucial, actually, I think. You really want that AP. Yeah. So now you've got huge number of bolters. They could be hitting on 2s if you want. There's easy ways like Tallyman gives them +1 to hit. You're hitting on 2s, rerolling. You're wounding on, let's say 4s, rerolling everything. And then you have AP 1. These are actually really scary bolters, and it's a lot of shots. It's such a great universal tool for killing anything, right? A little AP with a ton of volume is like, that's the sweet spot for everything. All right, so we went through 10 things, just as we promised, but we're going to take you through one bonus round. Bonus round. This is what can happen if you combine a lot of things together. And actually, you will do this from time to time. We're going to give you an example of how you create 10 Plague Marines into kind of an ultimate combat squad. Absolutely. This is the ultimate combo like of all time from Chaos combos to exist, right? So you take your unit of 10 Plague Marines, right? You have some special weapons in there, maybe like a flail? Maybe one with flail, most of them just with knives. You want to keep it pretty simple, right? Yeah. Trench Fighters, amazing strat that you're going to be using almost every game you have with Plague Marines. It's anyone with a Plague Knife gets +1 attack. Amazing, awesome. Yeah. Not a bad place to start, right? That's right. You can also be giving them +1 to hit from your Tallyman. So now they're going to be hitting on 2s, both in shooting and combat for the entire round, which is really great. Absolutely. And then finally, of course, you give them the Biologist Putrefier's ability to give mortal wounds in combat on a 6 to wound. Yeah. This is basically Blades back, right? One of the big losses of the Codex was we lost Blades of Putrefaction, our ability to do mortal wounds. But the Biologist just carries it around. He just gives it to you. Grants it to infantry units.
So you can have that really, really powerful ability.
And of course, if you wanted to, you could spend 2 CP on Eternal Hatred to give them +1 to wound. In addition, they're already wounding most things in the game on 3s or 2s.
Yeah.
So this would be wounding Space Marines on 2-ups. Now, for what it's worth here, for what it's worth, this is at least 31 attacks. You're hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s from anything. And then you're going to be wounding Space Marines here on 2s, also rerolling 1s. You can have AP1, but you can also have AP2 from Ferric Blight. And then you also do mortal wounds on 6s. This can wreck enormous squads. This is huge squads of Terminators can go down. If there's a mountain of Intercessors, they're all dead. It's amazing output from a squad that is really not supposed to be that killy. They end up spiking really high.
And this really shows kind of the power of the Deathguard when you're throttling damage and using these combinations. They're just little plague knives. They were just -1 AP, but when you combine them in all these different ways, it lets you remove the other obsec off the point, and just then we truly get to the Deathguard's power, which is durability. And so at that point, you've throttled your damage, you're super durable, just an amazing combo that, as combo-y as it is, you will use it, and it is amazing. We've used some version of this in many of our games, even just thus far.
Keep in mind, you could be fighting something with T8 or higher. Like, it wouldn't matter. You could have Arch Contaminator here. You could be rerolling all these wounds.
Totally.
There's so many things you can do. The layers just keep going and going. It's fantastic. So, more than anything, we're really excited to hear what are your favorite combos. What are the things you've come up with? Maybe something that you think we've missed, or which from this list do you think is the ultimate strongest thing? We both have our favorites that we're putting into we start our armies with templates.
It's so true.
Where we have some of these, but this is such an exciting codex. It's a really complicated one, lots to dig into, and really excited for what it means for the future of the game because they are kind of expanding the design space, and they have a lot more creativity in this book than they've had in previous books.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so excited for the future of Warhammer. Excited to just play with this book and enjoy it. So again, let us know in the comments below, and we'll catch you guys very soon on the tabletop.